the silent shift becomes unmistakable. At first, it's quiet. You don't storm out. You don't slam doors. You don't make a grand announcement. You simply stop caring as much. You stop checking your phone every 5 minutes. You stop wondering what she's doing when she doesn't reply. You stop living on edge, waiting for crumbs of her attention. And she feels it instantly. Women are deeply attuned to shifts in energy, especially from the men who once gave them everything. She may not admit it, but she notices the distance in your voice, the lack of urgency in your replies, the calm detachment in your eyes. She used to feel secure in the certainty that you'd always want her. Now that certainty is gone, and the silence of your fading interest is louder than any fight you two ever had. 2. The mirror of regret grows sharper. Your fading interest becomes a mirror she cannot escape. Suddenly, every choice she made replays in her mind. The times she ignored your calls to see if you'd chase harder. The moments she tested your patience, believing your love was unconditional. The little cruelties she brushed off, convinced you'd never walk away. And now, she looks into that mirror and sees not just who she was, but what she's lost. That's the cruel beauty of indifference. It exposes the truth, because when your energy withdraws, it forces her to finally look at herself, without the comfort of your validation. And most people, when faced with that reflection, do not like what they see. 3. The balance of power flips completely. In the beginning, she was in control. She decided when to give, when to withhold, when to keep you close, and when to push you away. You responded to her every move. You lived in reaction. But now, the game has ended. When you stop caring, when your interest fades, when you no longer rush to prove your worth, you take the power back. Because the truth is this: power has never been about who talks the loudest, who argues the hardest, or who demands the most. It has always been about who can walk away without fear. And when you lose interest, you prove something she never expected. You can. This is the moment she realizes the pedestal she stood on was not built by her beauty, her charm, or her games. It was built by your investment. And the moment you stop investing, the pedestal collapses. 4. The emotional void becomes magnetic much longer. Women will never admit it openly, but they crave the attention of a man who is centered. They crave the validation of a man whose focus once lit up their world. And here's the paradox: the less attention you give her, the more she craves it. The less you show neediness, the more she feels yours was a love not easily replaced. Your new life, whether it's in the gym, at work, building your craft, or simply enjoying peace, becomes magnetic to her. Not because you're trying to attract her, but because the absence of your pursuit reveals the depth of your value. 5. The breaking point of realization. This is where the deepest cracks appear. She realizes that your love, as deep as it once was, had boundaries. She realizes that you were not an endless resource, but a man with standards. She realizes that she mistook your loyalty for weakness and your patience for permanence. And the weight of that realization crushes her pride. Because nothing is more terrifying than understanding that someone you believed would never leave finally has. That someone you thought would always see you as their world has chosen to build a world without you in it. And it is in this realization that the regret truly begins. Not just for losing you, but for underestimating you. 6. The return, driven by fear, not love. When she returns, it's rarely pure love that drives her. It's fear. Fear of being forgotten. Fear of being replaced. Fear of realizing her influence is gone forever. She may text you. She may circle back into your life with small excuses. She may even admit to missing you. But here's the truth. She doesn't miss you. She misses the man who once poured himself into her. She misses the man who once made her feel powerful. But the man she finds upon returning is no longer the same. Your shoulders sit heavier with purpose. Your eyes no longer search for hers with desperation. Your silence no longer begs, it commands. And in that haunting moment, she realizes something permanent. She can never again own the version of you she once did. Brother, this was never about her. The real lesson in losing interest isn't about making her regret. It's about making yourself remember. You remember that your energy is sacred. You remember that your value does not depend on her attention. You remember that peace is worth more than her chaos. And as you step into this truth, you discover something profound. By losing interest in her, you gain interest in life itself. You rediscover old passions. You build new strengths. You forge bonds with people who respect your energy. You finally understand what the Stoics have always taught, that freedom is not found in possession, but in detachment. And once you embody this, you become untouchable. Tell me your story in the comments, because your experience might be the very thing another man needs to hear tonight. If this message spoke to you, brother, hit that like button, share it with a man who's struggling, and don't forget to subscribe. This channel is where men reclaim their power, their peace, and their purpose. And remember, losing interest in her isn't the end. It's the beginning of becoming who you were always meant to be.